Rolling in 3, 2, 1. Hi. Thank you for attending the first of a 40-part series on basic life and business skills enhancements from me. Today we're going to solve a problem that is really plaguing the world right now, and I'm not talking about the Rona sickness. What I'm talking about is it's an issue that brings a severe amount of discomfort to so many people, but it's a problem that really is easily solved. Today's topic is improving your audio for computer-based conference calls. We've all had to shift to virtual meetings right now. In fact, I would say probably way too many of them. Like, most of them probably don't even need to be really happening, just because they're meetings. It's almost like our brain matter just has started to ooze out of our skull holes and just flop and drop onto the floor for some poor little puppy dog to lick up like a little greedy scavenger thing. But yeah, these meetings, you guys, come on, too many of them. Here's the problem. Computers, those fun devices that we talk through, that we conduct these soul-sucking meetings through, they're not a really good source of audio. They're magnificent machines. They're beautiful. The iMacs, with all the colors and the sizes and the shapes and the colors, they're amazing. There's no doubt about it. But in the hands of the careless, which is you probably, tragedy is around the corner if you don't know what you're doing, and you really don't. And that's why I'm here, to make you better. This video is going to up your virtual meeting game, and we're going to take your Zoom meetings to the next level with a couple simple tricks. Number one, getting good audio. Audio is a really complex science, and I don't claim to know much about it, but I do know that the biggest source of bad audio for your Zoomy meetings is where you're having that meeting and where your computer is. Most of us are doing this from home now, and home rooms are usually like square or rectangle shaped with flat, hard surfaces, and that is an audio nightmare. It creates reverb, echoey type stuff that happens. You hear this on these Zoom meetings all the time, and it's horrible. It's really bad, especially if you're following your Zoom meeting from the bathtub, because that's like a big kind of reverb chamber. Where you are watching your Zoom meeting, I think, is really part of the problem. If you can, put a soft, absorbent something, whether it's a curtain or even a closet. You could sit with your back to the closet with all the clothes behind you. And what that does is it takes your audio and it makes it so that it's actually hitting a non-hard flat surface behind you. That can help eliminate the echoey thing that you're hearing. Number two, the device that you're speaking into and the device that you're listening to your Zoom meeting in, those sources ideally should be a little bit separate. The big problem with the PC computers on the Zoomy calls is that your audio input and how you're hearing it are coming from the same device. So in a worst case scenario, what you're getting is really almost a feedback loop. Just like all the crappy bands around the world know. Feedback, right? You've heard that. What's going into your PC computer and coming out at the same time can be a problem. So we want to try to isolate those two things. The good news is that Macs and PCs do a really good job of canceling out that feedback loop just kind of naturally with their built-in mics and stuff. But if you can somehow separate it, I think you're going to be better off. Couple things you can do. One is invest hundreds of dollars into a great audio system. Audio interface, microphone, headphones, all that stuff. The added benefit, you can look like a complete tool on your Zoom conference call. Trust me, I've done this, and it makes me look worse than I naturally do. Next best option, right here. this. Little rubbery spaghetti things. Okay, so check this out. What makes these so good? These actually, I hate these things. I really hate these things. But what makes the earbuds really good is that they have two features. One is your speakers. Can you see that right there? Speakers. Those are little tiny speakers. You put those in your ear holes. But what's really cool is you also have a microphone. That is a little microphone, okay? That separates what you're saying from what you're hearing. And because this is dangling from your lobe, that gives you much better sound when the mic is close as opposed to what's on your computer. If you don't have the proper computer, which is an Apple, and you don't have one of these, you can just find generic ones. But here's the thing, and they're available at all the truck stops worldwide. So here's the thing about the generic ones. You need to be very careful. If you have just two rings there on this thing here, you're only going to be hearing audio. There's no microphone. You need the one that has three rings on the end. 1, 2, 3 rings. Okay, look for the 3. Look for the 3. If it has 3 rings, you know you're getting a microphone and headphones. Third and final tip, this one everybody can do. You probably should do it, and that is just hit mute because nobody really wants to hear what you're saying, and the more you talk in a Zoom call, the longer it goes, and that's not good for everybody. So be mindful, click the little mute thing up there in that Zoom and use that. The more you mute, the less you make other people suffer, and that's very critical. However, if you can't mute, or maybe you're in the unfortunate position where you actually have to host one of these meetings, then I would recommend either doing earbuds or, looking like a complete tool. So thank you for attending my webinar. I've got about 40 more of these to do. And until then, enjoy your audio. Looking like a tool.